Hi, my name's Lisa and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then thank you very much for clicking, and if you're a returning subscriber, then I do really appreciate you. Today's video is going to be based on an email that was sent through to me after a post that I put onto Instagram, asking to share MLM stories with me. This is my first attempt at doing this. To be fair, I'm not very technical, so I don't know how it's going to go, but hey ho, I'm willing to try. So let's begin. Now, the young lady that sent me the email, she didn't really indicate either way whether she wanted me to share her name or not. So, erring on the side of caution, I'm not going to use her name. I'm just going to read out the email that she wrote to me, and then we're going to go through each section a bit at a time. The email starts off as saying, "Hi Lisa, I saw your account on Instagram that said to share our stories, so here is an Arbonne story for you. I joined Arbonne when I was 17. Seriously? Aren't there rules about that? Don't you have to be the age of consent to join an MLM company? I mean, I'm actually from the UK, and even in England, I would have thought that you would have to be a minimum of 18 to be able to actually join any MLM company, but I got that wrong. I think so though." It goes on to say, "My upline told me it was fine that I was underage. I signed up under my high school friend, and we will call her N, who was also 17. So two underage people joining. She was told it was fine by her upline, who was much older than us. So basically they had recruited us illegally. This all took place in March of 2020 when school was out due to quarantine. N messaged me out of the blue. Well, to be fair, that's pretty typical. You normally get a hey hun message when this sort of thing starts, and from what you said so far, I take it this is also going to be the case. I hadn't heard from her for over a year, and she was telling me about this amazing opportunity that she had for me. And of course, me being an impulsive person due to my mental health condition, well, that's a huge red flag for a start. One, you're only 17, and I would assume if this was any kind of a friend, that they would know that you do have some kind of mental health issue. So, you know, you're being doubly preyed on there, and I totally think that is disgusting. I signed up straight away. The sign-up fee was $70 Australian, which I didn't have, and my parents gave me the money, and all I got for my $70 was a single product catalogue and a few pieces of paper that were absolutely useless. Well, yes, I would totally agree with that. $70 Australian basically for a few pieces of paper and a catalogue. So you didn't even get any product? Whatever next. I was added into a group chat for our district and a few Facebook groups. When you're added to Facebook groups, it's usually nothing to do with products or discussing products or how to sell products. It tends to be basically so they can teach you how to recruit and the best ways to do that. They also told me not to make a separate Instagram account. I had to make my entire account about living the Arbonne life and all of the products. My friends all messaged me when I made my first post, sending me anti-MLM videos and links, and my district manager told me to ignore them and stop talking to all of my friends and family that didn't support me. so I lost lots of friends because of it. Well, yeah, your upline is going to say that because they're totally invested in it, and whether they truly see that 99.6% of people don't make money in an MLM, that's really not their concern. All they're interested in is getting you on their team, showing you how to recruit others, and also getting you to get your friends and family to purchase from you. Mind you, how many friends and family do they think that you've actually got when they're actively telling you to ignore anyone who is waving a big red flag to you about how bad MLMs are? So on the one hand, they want you to ignore those people, but on the other hand, they want you to actively recruit and to get people to buy products. So the email goes on to say, I only ever had about 5 customers that bought anything from me, all of which were family. My first customer being my mum. Well, yeah, your mum's always going to try and support you as best as she can, even if she doesn't necessarily agree with the business model. My next customer was an aunt of mine, and she bought the 30 days to healthy living pack. After that, I added her to the groups on Facebook and coached her, but she kept telling me she wasn't losing any weight. I messaged my district manager about this, and she told me it was my fault for using her advertisement for it that didn't have any disclaimers on it, even though she used it all of the time to advertise the 30 days to healthy living pack. She had a right go at me, and I just sat and took it. Well, there were just so many things wrong there. It should have been a huge red flag that your auntie wasn't losing weight. I'm sure she was following the instructions. What right did this district manager have to, have a go at you because all you were doing was following her example? And at the end of the day, basically that's what she's there for, isn't it? To teach you how to do this, the best way of going about it. And if she's using certain advertising, then it stands to reason to most people that you're going to use that same advertising, and then to have a go at you and blame you for doing what she's actually doing. Well, to me, she's not much of a manager, is she? She certainly didn't teach you the right way to go about it, that's for sure. I worked every single day during the quarantine, so I was basically working for 10 hours a day, posting, messaging people, attending Zoom meetings with uplines, doing my non-negotiables, and trying desperately to sell the product. I was encouraged to send over 100 cold messages per day. Well, when people recruit you into the MLM or multi-level marketing industry, one of the big bonuses is the time freedom. So working 10 hours a day every day, where's your time freedom there then? And then they're telling you to cold message 100 people a day. So basically what they're saying there is you're going to go onto Facebook and strike up conversations with people that you don't know, and that is going to lead to a problem, which is what you're just about to say next. And I could see it coming from them telling you to cold message 100 people a day. Social media blocked you from being able to send messages to anyone. Well, I know it's not your fault and you were only doing what you were told to do, but basically what they were telling you to do was to spam people, and that doesn't go down well regardless of what platform it's on. And in my mind, this is not how you should run a business. I actually run an online business, but I certainly don't spam people. I just make posts about the business, and I also make videos about the business. That's how it should work. They should never ever be telling you to cold message 100 people using social media. All of the Zoom meetings were never about selling the product. They were just a bunch of middle-aged women crying while sharing their life stories and their why and crappy motivational speaking. A lot of it was them pushing us to recruit, and when I said I didn't want to push anything on anyone, my district manager, who we will call S, told me word for word, don't take no for an answer, just keep messaging the same person until they give in and join. Well, you can keep messaging people until the cows come home, basically, but if they don't want to join, they're just going to block you. So, there's only so many times that you can cold message someone before that happens, surely. About 3 months later, I went back to school. Sometimes I'd have a school assignment to do and I wasn't able to attend the meeting. So my group would give me the silent treatment for a few days, and then one of them would yell at me over text for not attending, which broke down my relationship with them so much. Well, yeah, I can imagine that must have been very disturbing for you. These people are supposed to be assisting you and helping you, not yelling at you. I mean, how is that any form of training to totally ignore you and then yell at you? You're not going to learn how to run a proper business if that's the way it's taught to you. And if anything, it would totally turn you off. It would make you not want to do it, surely. Further down the track, there was a retreat coming up for our district group. I was going to go, but it was going to cost 400 Australian dollars per person, and I couldn't afford it. Well, I'm not surprised. You're only 17. How are you supposed to afford $400 for a retreat? The district manager, S, proceeded to tell me that I had signed a contract about going to the retreat and had to pay even if I didn't go. I argued for hours with this woman. My mum even got on the phone. I didn't end up paying it, but I still had to pay for the personalised gift that she bought, which was 40 Australian dollars. It was literally just a crappy little champagne glass with my name on it and a bath gown. Nobody should be forced into going to a retreat. And it's this sort of thing that gets people in debt. It's, going to retreats that you're forced into. I mean, not only are you 17 years old, there's not many 17-year-olds that are just going to have $400 laying around that they can put their hands on. What you're going on is not something that's going to be exciting. It's going to be full of people pushing you in the direction that they want you to go in, which is maybe fun for them, but it's certainly not much fun for you. And to tell you that you've got to go, no one has to do anything they don't want to do. After that, I decided to leave. Well, I don't blame you for 1 second there. You absolutely, totally did the right thing. My upline, who was my good friend, was bitter towards me at the end of it all. Well, unfortunately, that is a standard practice when you leave an MLM. You always get ostracised and given the cold shoulder. Doesn't make it right, but that is what happened. She got upset with me for not ranking up, losing a sale, and not attending a Zoom meeting. I wasn't going to take it anymore. Well, good for you. I don't blame you. why on earth should you take treatment like that from someone who is supposed to be your friend? All in all, I made a total of 200 Australian dollars from sales, but spent over $500 on products for myself and to promote. Now I am left with a bunch of products that I hate, although I still use the mascara, which I didn't mind at all. Well, yes, unfortunately, that's another downside of being in a multi-level marketing company, is the fact of how much product you personally have to buy to stay active. And majoritively, people who are underage are not going to really be shown that they should be buying products that they would actually use, and then they wouldn't necessarily be wasted. But from my own personal opinion, I think that they took total outrageous advantage of you. Finishing off, it says, I had to rebuild friendships and tell everyone I left. I was so happy to be out of it. I could have my life back instead of making it all about Arbonne. Well, to be fair, that is the best ending that there could have been, was the fact that you saw the light and you could get your life back. You could get back on track by doing things that you actually wanted to do, that you enjoyed doing. It doesn't mean that you don't want to work. It just means that the business that you signed into was stacked against you from the start. So I am so happy that there was a happy ending, that you did get out of there, and I just want to say thank you so much for sending me your story and letting me share it with everybody on YouTube. Well, that's all for this video for today. Please like, comment and subscribe, and if you can tell me a way to make this a little bit easier in sharing this type of thing, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Bye for now.